Hi, I'm Sai. I'm the owner of Bloxflip.
What inspired you to create Bloxflip?
Yeah, so what inspired me, I saw the success of RBX Flip. That was definitely an inspiration in the beginning. Originally, we wanted to do PvP gambling where people play with limiteds against each other. However, we wanted to go for a house-based system to kind of differentiate ourselves from RBX Crash, RBX Flip, and those types of sites. We also wanted to incorporate blocks.land. We wanted to do liquidations and that type of stuff because with liquidations, people sell Robux and the liability isn't placed on us. People, I think, previously wanted to create a house-based gambling site like this. However, they couldn't really get over the problem of how do you deal with like the liabilities of bans and stuff. So that's what inspired us to create Bloxflip.
Bloxflip is the first Roblox gambling site to use Robux instead of limiteds. What inspired this?
Yeah, so what inspired us, limiteds tend to be a lot more niche than Robux. It's definitely a lot more of a smaller community when it comes to limiteds, and we wanted to open it up to more people. And through liquidations, we're able to make that possible without the liability of bans and that type of stuff happening. Unlike other sites before us, we don't really deal with ban waves or anything of that sort. It's not like there are bots holding the Robux. So as a result, it's a lot safer than traditional methods of handling user items and that type of stuff because it's coming directly from the user. So that's why we decided to use Robux for Bloxflip.
Do you think that the Roblox tax and wait time is holding you back at all?
Oh yeah, it definitely sucks. Actually, originally we were coming up with the idea of Bloxflip a long time ago. I think in like early 2021. However, Aries and I kind of got caught up in some other projects. Before Roblox really started messing with group payouts and that type of stuff, we were experimenting with some ideas of paying Robux out through the user holding groups and that type of stuff. However, once they rolled out that group update, it was kind of off the table. So there's really no way around like the 3-day pending. We did add limiteds and that type of stuff so users can withdraw their earnings out immediately because I don't think there are trade limits and that type of stuff or 3-day waits for trades. So we do want to expand into limiteds more. We're also looking into potentially adding not just Roblox items, but potentially adding StockX items and that type of stuff in the future so people can cash out their earnings in more ways than just Robux, which is what we initially did when the site launched. But yeah, to go back to your question, it sucks that Roblox has a 30% tax and it takes a few days for the Robux to go through, but that's just how it is.
When you first launched, you had quite a swift success. Did you anticipate that? And how did it compare to your expectations?
Yeah, it definitely blew up really fast. I think one thing that surprised me was not the growth per se, but the retention. People kept on going back to the site. People were staying on the site maybe for like 10, 20 minutes. And previously, I just worked with reward sites, and we don't really see that type of retention or that type of users coming back like that. So that's what really surprised us less than the growth. So the combination of both high growth and high retention has just really skyrocketed Bloxflip. I'm really happy to see that Aries and our work has paid off with this.
Recently, another new Roblox gambling site known as RBLX Wild launched. What were your initial thoughts when you heard of their release?
When I initially heard of RBLX Wild, I was quite surprised to see the design. Not a lot of people in the Roblox scene have good website designs, so that was definitely quite surprising. I was like, damn, this site could probably take off. And it did take off. And also something to kind of add to the RBLX Wild front. When it comes to dealing with competitors, whether it's for Bloxland, other reward sites, or any type of competing site, we always tend to want to play clean. We like to compete with our products, not use like dirty tactics such as trying to pay off staff or trying to steal sponsorships from other people. The reason why RBLX Wild and Bloxflip kind of have a bit of a feud right now is because they initially kind of went to us sideways a little bit. Like they were trying to pay off Alfonso, one of our staff members at Bloxflip. They tried to pay him off to promote their website, and that's not really cool, you know? Yeah, I mean, I do welcome competition because it does bring the best out of websites, and it does kind of put fire under people to really do their best job in terms of coming out with new features and providing the best experience for the users. In particular, we're coming out with a new design for Bloxflip. It's going to be completely redesigned. Everything's going to be completely custom, new game modes, mines, game shows, that type of stuff. And we're really going to add features to Bloxflip where other sites like RBLX Wild, RBXWild soon won't really be able to compete with, because both Aries and I, we have experience with not just websites, but also creating applications for computers too, and reverse engineering, that type of stuff. So we can really come up with some really crazy game modes and things like that our competitors won't be able to copy.
You mentioned dirty tactics. Couldn't someone argue that stealing case names, designs, items, and percentages used on Wild is dirty?
Yeah, it is dirty, and I've never done that to RBXFlip. Even though we could play dirty with other websites, we don't do that. We're just doing it because they want to play dirty, so there's no point in really holding back or trying to play clean if it's just a one-sided thing. But to add on to that, we do plan on adding some more cases. We're adding this new feature as well where users can create their own cases and share them with others, and gets featured on the website and all that stuff. So we have some really big plans in the works. Initially, we just wanted to get the case update out as soon as possible, because at Bloxflip, we don't really want to wait a long time to make sure our features are 100% perfect, but our goal is to get them at least out to the users, and then later on we can then clean it up, change some things around, and that type of stuff.
You mentioned that you're going to expand the cases and add new ones, or even the user can create their own. Will these new cases be inspired by RBLX Wild as well, or are you now going to be original?
Oh, that's a little loaded, but yeah, we're going to be coming up with our own cases. In particular, we're also be coming up with cases based on ideas that users come up with. So it won't just be Aries and I coming up with some new case ideas or prices or whatever. It'll also be our user base that will be submitting these cases to us, and we'll probably put it in the site.
Is there still bad blood with Wild, and have you spoken to them at all?
We haven't really spoken to them in quite some time, and maybe there is bad blood, maybe there isn't, because I know they're doing like hashtag Bloxflip on their TikToks and stuff, so I'm assuming there is kind of still bad blood between us. But to be honest, Aries and I, like, we don't care, because we're just focused on ourselves. We're just focused on our users and providing the best experience possible. So it's not even really a thought in our mind like what Wild thinks of us.
When you first launched, Bloxflip had 4 game modes. You recently removed Shuffle and replaced it with Plinko. Why did you do this?
Because nobody was really playing Shuffle. It was a little complicated. I think a lot of users didn't really understand how it works. We do plan on overhauling some game modes, so Shuffle will not be coming back. However, there will be some variations where it's going to be like a similar game mode to Shuffle, except it's going to be a lot easier to understand and easier to play as well. So that's going to be coming out with the new Bloxflip design. Just a little sneak peek. We're going to be adding jackpot, mines, stairs, as I said before, a game show. It'll be a lot of fun, and we might even add a game mode where people can 1v1 each other in Roblox games and that type of stuff, and create our own clients so people can wager against each other in like different matches, like maybe something like Arsenal. So we do have a lot of plans.
Recently, you partnered with Adurite to add limited withdrawals. Why did you choose to partner with Adurite instead of making your own exclusive marketplace, similar to what RBXWild is doing?
Yeah, so we're good friends with the owners of Adurite. We've known them for quite some time now. And in terms of partnering with them instead of creating our own marketplace, we just wanted to get the update out as soon as possible. And Adurite does have quite a large amount of sellers, and we wanted to tap into that and provide our users with as many limiteds as possible. Although users can deposit limiteds into Bloxflip and sell it for a balance, we didn't really see that feature being used widespread. So we just integrated Adurite as well, so we could provide as much as possible, as fast as possible. So that's why we didn't create our own marketplace for that.
In your own opinion, what is the number one Roblox gambling site?
I think you already know my answer with that. I think it's Bloxflip. I would say for a while it was RBLXWild. However, Bloxflip has definitely been receiving a lot of traction lately. We've been managing to sustain 1,000 users at once on weekdays, which is really phenomenal. So I would say Bloxflip is the number one gambling website right now for Roblox and will continue to stay that way.
What are your future plans with Bloxflip?
Yeah, so the future of Bloxflip, I would say, would be really expanding beyond just Roblox. That's something that we really want to do because we don't really want to be trapped in the Roblox niche per se, because Roblox can be a very unreliable company to work with in terms of creating websites. Like, they can do things that are very spontaneous, without thought, without regard, and they've done this for many years at this point. So we definitely want to expand out of Roblox. Something that we do want to do at some point would be StockX integration. So you can cash out your Robux for a pair of Jordans or Rolex or whatever, which is going to be really dope. But we are still going to like double down on Roblox. Don't expect the StockX integration and all of that type of stuff to be coming out real soon, but it's definitely going to be here in a couple months. Because as you said before, one of the issues is Roblox tax, taking 30% off of every transaction. And what if Roblox pushes an update that increases the tax, or there are cooldowns when paying out people? So we don't really want to be at the whim of whatever David Baszucki is going to push this time. So yeah, that's definitely something that we want to do, is StockX integration and other stuff.
Where do you see yourself in 1 year's time?
Hopefully getting a matching McLaren with Strat along with Aries.